Well, top of the morning, or as we like to say in broadcasting, top of the day part to each and every one of you. It is indeed our St. Patrick's Day special. And to do that, there are only so many movies that you can talk about to commemorate such an important day as this. And we're continuing our annual tradition of talking about some of the finest in perhaps not Irish cinema, but film that celebrates the Irish. And today we talk about the cinematic masterpiece that is Leprechaun 6, also known as Back to the Hood. And if you haven't seen it, don't worry. You're going to feel like you've seen it when we're all done. And we have assembled an all-star panel today to discuss Leprechaun 2, Back to the Hood. Sorry, Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood. Too many numbers. I didn't realize that there would be math so early, but very excited to speak with someone who spent his day yesterday with a diminutive 3.5-foot monster with awful skin, terrible hygiene, and really long, unkempt fingernails. But enough about Stuttering John. It's Adam Hughezy Hughes. How are you, sir?
Quite brilliant. If you wonder why my sides are being covered up, it's because they were split last night from all of the laughter. Also, tragically, I discovered that what I watched was this classic on YouTube, which was a censored version, so I didn't get to see the true essence of Leprechaun 6 Back to the Hood. I feel like I wasted my day.
You may have wasted your day, but you still saw a great film, obviously. And also checking in a great film is our friend Lucy Tightbox from Once Over with Cayley. It's Cayley.
Hi. Yay.
So,
I watched the right movie, but I paid a lot of money for it, which made me feel really sad.
oh, how much money did you pay for this? Was it $2? That's too much, right?
$3.99.
Yeah, that is a lot actually
Oof.
for
I
a
know.
Leprechaun movie. I bought a whole year of Peacock. Anything to say about that, Hughezy?
I was going to say $3.99 is like a Dabbleverse 1000.
It's true.
Oh my. In any case, hit the like button. So, yeah. So I spend a lot of money so that I can see it, but that's all right. And making his appearance here for the first time is the Metal Horror Madman. Metal Horror Madman, thank you for being here today.
I also spent the $3.99 on this movie, and I would have rather spent $3.99 on Stuttering John lost tapes from an album that was never released. The thing that really got this thing animated in the beginning was the animation. I was like, if they would have went that route and made this an animated movie, it would have been great. But then I kept remembering the title of the movie. So I was getting excited. I'm like, it's like Lord of the Rings. It's like Army of Darkness. And then they went in the hood. And I didn't feel comfortable watching this movie. As a Caucasian, I didn't feel comfortable watching this movie at all. I feel dirty. I feel tainted. I'm already known as a scumbag, and now I really feel like a scumbag. This thing took me down ways I didn't think we could do in the modern era of film, and I am disgusted with myself for watching it. But the last half hour, there was a lot of murder, so.
There was a lot of murder, but boy, it took a while for it to start. This is definitely one of those movies that I was so glad I was watching on my laptop with my headphones on, because I was like, I can't have anybody even hear me. By the way, let me just say good morning to all of my ninjas here. We're so glad to see each and every one of you. A couple of years ago, we talked about Leprechaun in the Hood, and I could never have imagined that film was so much more grounded and at least made more sense, but it also had Ice-T in it. Did Cayley, as you watch this, did it make you long for the heyday of the first Hood movie that they did with the Leprechaun?
It has both its pluses and minuses. I definitely prefer the original Hood Leprechaun movie as to the second Hood Leprechaun movie. But I will say it does feel a little bit more slashery than the original. It feels a little bit more true to form of like what a horror movie is supposed to be than the previous installment in this series. I completely agree with Metal Horror Madman here. The animation in the beginning is really, really rad. It kind of set me off in a good place. And then it was like, what the hell is happening in this entire movie? I don't understand anything. I don't understand. I don't understand the idea of the urban, gritty setting with a drama that also has this 3.5-foot leprechaun doing rhymes and killing people with magic. Like it doesn't function for me.
But he does enjoy the chronic, I think, is something that,
He does.
yeah. Hughezy, which, as the representative for Ireland here on the show, whose cultural appropriation do you think was worse? The hood, the inner city culture, or leprechauns, which the way that I understood was actually one of your words that you need to give us permission if we can say the L word on this show?
Yeah, you've got the L word pass. But the thing,
Thank you.
But the thing is, what I've noticed, like, it's funny you pause it at this specific bit there, because Warwick Davis stopped doing an Irish accent during this. He actually spoke in English, and Warwick Davis, I would say, is the acting equivalent of how Slayer are as a band, because Slayer stinks.
Oh, no. I didn't realize we were getting that.
Does not stink. I will not tolerate Slayer slander, and I'm respecting that ABBA shirt, and I demand Slayer respect. Especially with a man that just went through the trenches last night with a 3-foot troll sack of shit. I still love you. I love you. I'm excited you're on here. Cayley knows every time I see any of you, I can't wait, but I cannot tolerate Slayer slander. My apologies, Christian. I get
No. I think Hughezy knew exactly what he was doing, and
Hughezy's so happy right now.
I know he's so proud of himself. Hey, Metal Horror Madman, what do you think of Oasis?
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
Oasis is garbage. I wouldn't listen to it. I'd rather watch One Too Many than listen to Oasis.
Okay, all right. Listen, sometimes people say things that they can't take back, and you want to think twice about that. Hughezy, Metal Horror Madman is so into the Dabbleverse, he was actually excited to see me on the screen once for
I was so excited.
He had no idea that I produced 100 songs that define heavy metal, hosted by Metal Blade Records CEO Brian Slagle. You can see a past episode with the Metal Horror Madman.
I assume those Slayer episodes on there?
No, there's actually quite a few Slayer episodes, and he was on one of them. Chemical Warfare, I think, was your song, right? Metal Horror Madman, yeah. What were you going to say?
So.
Did you know what a Ben Folds 5 Christmas album is called?
I'm afraid to find out, but what is a Ben Folds 5 Christmas album called?
Slayer.
I don't even quite know what that means, but
then Santa Slay.
I like his avant-garde humor. That's why I love him so much. I don't know what's going on half the time, but I'm always smiling. You know what? I'll consider Oasis an actual band now, just out of respect, because look at respectful gentlemen.
By the end of this, we'll all be drinking Guinness, even though it's 7:15 in the morning where I am. But
speaking of great,
it sounds like we're all gonna love Leprechaun 6: Back to the Hood.
And speaking of great music, they mentioned their avant-garde on the great Aerosmith album Just Push Play. They have a real great song called Avant-Garden, which tells you everything you need to know about my depression during those days.
I didn't think you were going to talk about Aerosmith Just Push Play, but I know that recently was the anniversary of the release of that. We interacted on Twitter over this, or X, and I think it came out in March 2001. And my comment was, I can't think of anything worse that happened in the year 2001 than Aerosmith putting out Just Push Play. It's a travesty. They should be ashamed of themselves. Like, the Armageddon song wasn't bad enough, but that's not why we're here. Why we're here is to read the poor chat, to try and encourage them to super chat. Hughezy, look at this, TJ Electrify, who I feel like should be on with Blind Mike right now. So I appreciate you two-timing him to be here with us. And honestly, the whole chat is a lot of this. Hi, Cayley.
Hi, Fiore.
We stand Cayley. All right, enough. Okay, we get it. She's here. She's great. We love her. But, the three of us are here too, chat. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I don't think I know how the Leprechaun got from space to the Hood. Now, I guess the first Hood movie is actually 5 before this, and Leprechaun in Space, which Hughezy, last year you insisted, because we do these Leprechaun movies every year. You said, I think we have to do Leprechaun in Space, and I agreed with you. And Is there any sense of narrative to these films, Cayley? Do you think that they try to carry anything over? Because I feel like each and every one of them stands alone. There's not even like here we are back to the hood, commenting on the fact that he spent some time in the hood in one of the past films.
No, each one of these movies seems to be completely independent of the others, which is kind of nice, honestly, in a horror franchise. Having just the main villain be the thing that carries over can be kind of exciting because I know a lot of people have been talking about Scream 7 lately, and
Sure.
obviously there is some fan service in that movie. If you don't already like the Scream series, you're probably not going to like Scream 7. Whereas Leprechaun, you could kind of start anywhere if you wanted to. That being said, I would like there to be a little bit more cohesiveness in any of these movies. In particular, in Back to the Hood,
I'm
the
sorry,
biggest,
can you just say it again? I like the way
no,
you say it.
Back to the Hood,
The hood, yes, that hood. Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't understand. So there's like this whole narrative that the reason that obviously we have the Leprechaun trying to get his gold back from a group of people who live in the hood. That's the
Yes,
plot
me
of the movie.
gold. Yes, the
Yes,
whole
me gold.
concept
I
of
gotta
the
get me gold.
franchise is me gold. Yes.
I don't understand in this one, though, in particular, there's a lot of commentary about the reason that the Leprechaun is coming after them is because they are being greedy and they want to have all of this gold in order to be able to be greedy and buy things for themselves. And that's really bad. Why the hell does the Leprechaun want his gold then? If it's not for greed.
Irish people have a problem with a certain type of rich.
So you're saying that he's leprechaun rich?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm usually prepared for what you're going to say, but I wasn't expecting quite that.
And to be fair, like they did immediately spend the money on important stuff like tracksuits and rims. So
yeah, I think that's basically what you were saying, Metal Horror Madman. It's very uncomfortable to watch this movie because if you watch a movie like New Jack City or Juice or Boys in the Hood, well, they were made by people that at least have some understanding of inner city culture, and well, maybe some reason that they feel like it's an important story to tell. But
that film, Juice, you mentioned, was released over here under the title Schindler's List.
I don't even know what that means, Hughezy. But what do you feel like? What was the most uncomfortable part for you, Metal Horror Madman, as you were watching it?
There was so. First of all, DJ Electra, another legend. I would love to see her in the chat. I'm a fanboy of all you people. I don't know what to tell you.
By the way, she points out that Blind Mike. She says Blind Mike is on a bye week.
On a bye week. Oh, Blind Mike, nicest guy in the Dabbleverse.
Yeah,
I could. The big lady. The big lady that's laying down, getting massaged, farting, shooting every freaking slang word you could use. That was very uncomfortable. Everybody dealing drugs was uncomfortable. But what made me most uncomfortable was that stupid fucking silver helmet that guy was wearing. It looked like a bowl that they took out of a fucking Dollar Tree, and he put it on his head, and he's a tough guy biker, and he shows up with some pussy music playing. Like, I want to hear DMX bumping at that point, and it's like a love song, and I'm supposed to be intimidated by this sack of shit with a bowl on his head. Everything about this movie was offensive. Every stereotype you could imagine. Here's the money. We got to go piss it away on everything. Well, I want to get out of the hood. I don't want to go get a fucking job. I want some magical coins to take me. And then the other guy's just banging everything just pissed me off in that movie. I couldn't. The first 30 minutes without the Leprechaun. That was also offensive.
It was a long time before we actually, because they have to explain away how he's disappeared for like a year at the beginning, but then he's gone. And Hughezy, I think you said you thought that the first 20 minutes of this film was an inner city documentary on what life was like in 2003. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I said that. That it felt like it was like. Were they hoping to make a different movie with these characters, and then the only way that they could do it was to bring Hughezy's favorite actor, Warwick Davis, into the fold?
Yeah, no. One of the things that I had to see who was the writer director of this, and it's not a black person; it was a W person.
We can call them whites on this show. We're not as strict as where you spent a lot of time last night.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So the so they had that, and it was every character in it was a massive stereotype that we've seen a million times before. You can kind of understand why Sinners got Oscar nominated, despite the fact that it's shit. And like
you're just trying to show off for Cayley right now.
Oh yeah, like there was the way there was the bad drug dealers and the good drug dealers, because there's no way they couldn't just not be drug dealers. It's like, of course they're drug dealers. They're what.
A lot of the reason that I think that this movie made us all feel so uncomfortable is because initially when they were writing it, the idea was to set it in Venice Beach during spring break. And then they pivoted to the hood. And I think that that's where a lot of the failure and extreme discomfort comes from.
Yeah, and to Hughesy's point, I think it's probably important that we point out that this is the screenwriter, Stephen Ariomoli. I don't know how to say that, but
neither does his agent,
Ariom Louis, who, by the way, also has a movie called Hollow Weed. So I know what we'll be talking about around Halloween time. I'm sure that it's just as good as this. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, this definitely looks like a guy who, honestly, this looks like, Eric Nagel after, just a lost month in like 2004. It kind of has that look to it. But I think that this is really the guy who understands black slang. And he did have to write on paper, or at least on a screen at some point. He did have to write the actual N-word. And I feel like they introduced this idea of just substituting it for ninja because they were like, we can only say it so many times. I think it was also so that the Leprechaun could say it. Because remember, they did have a white...
exact same thought. I had that exact same thought. I was like, okay, they have to say ninja instead of the N-word, and they have to explain to us that that's a plot point because obviously the Leprechaun is going to say it.
Yeah. At some point. And, he went the whole last Hood movie without saying it. And I think that they were like, well, this is really what's missing. By the way, the previous Hood movie, he had a whole rap production number that I know, Hughezy, one day when you get married, that will be your wedding song. But there was a little bit of rhyming, but he didn't do any song and dance numbers. And I feel like that was really missing. Is that what you come to the Leprechaun for, Metal Horror Madman, for him to sing and dance and be dropping, making it rain around a lot of hose, I guess, is perhaps.
It is funny when you showed the first thing I thought in the first 5 minutes, I'm like, no doubt a white person wrote this movie. No doubt in my mind did a white person write this movie. I should have done the research, but after finishing that movie, I needed some time to myself. I needed some time to feel like, am I going to be canceled for watching this? Are they going to trace it through my IP address and cancel me for buying and supporting this piece of garbage? Because that was stereotype, and we've all seen bad stereotypes. This was stereotypes on literally if Stuttering John and Ava sat together, which they probably do often, not just sit together, and they're writing a movie. That's what I'd expect. I'm like, boom, there. Except he'd play the lead role, as you said earlier.
Yeah, that one would be called 1-2 Tranny.
I don't even know what that means. By the way, Jerry Shepardini said, control the Irishman. I don't think anybody can control the Irishman. If you think that's possible, I don't think you understand Hughezy. And by the way, this Hughezy is much easier to have a conversation with. If you want a real fun one, go back in the Wayback Machine, not that far back to our One Battle After Another episode. That's peak Hughezy. Cayley, your friend Raper Butt wants to know, has anyone ever heard of Oasis? I'm not sure what that means.
Poor Raper Butt missed all the amazing Oasis talk in the beginning.
Yeah, I know he really did. But if you're in the chat and your name's Raper Butt, you can get right on here, especially because you're Cayley's friend. So there is a story here. There are characters. I think that the funny guy, who I believe his name is Jamie, I have to access my notes. You could kind of like him a little bit because the laughs are, he's there for the laughs, but there's the romantic drama that gets brought in here. And I don't think anyone's a good enough actor to pull any of that off in this ensemble. I feel like I'm really going out on a limb with that. But Hughezy, which character were you rooting for the most of our human hood characters?
Well, I liked the girl in the middle
Mm.
because this you could sense the psychology going on, and that this was her big break. This is obviously going to be the film that led her up to superstardom. And I would assume as production went along, she actually saw some edited footage because she started speaking quieter and quieter in scenes because she just felt so embarrassed.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
think
notice that she didn't change her outfit the entire movie, even though there
Yeah.
were multiple days that this was occurring on?
the wardrobe
Take a
budget.
shower.
The wardrobe budget was one day for everyone. So I think that it really covers the whole spectrum on being unqualified to be in a film, I guess. No one's really good. And there's dialogue like talking about Kansas. Ain't no black people in that motherfucker. Can I get some service up in here? I look like Raggedy fucking Ann. These are all in the first like 5 minutes. And these are ones that I can actually read. Oh no, this was my favorite. It's Powerade, you ignorant motherfucker. Because someone called it Gatorade. No, he called it Kool-Aid, actually. So I mean, is that product placement? I don't know. Listen, any of us who love horror movies, I think we grade on a curve when it comes to, setting up the scenario. But Metal Horror Madman, like you were talking about, nobody gets killed for. Well, we get to see the Leprechaun 30 minutes in, but it's a good 45. Well, it's a bad 45 minutes, but it's a long time before we see him doing what he does best, isn't it?
It's so. I honestly was rooting for nobody, and I was hoping once he showed up, he just leveled everyone. He used his magic and transported back in time to the Lord of the Rings movie I want. Which also, you know what really pissed me off in this movie? He's teleporting from trees to streets, but he's got to drive a police car. He's got to drive a police car. Right. And then the big reward, I'm going to spoil it, everybody. The big reward is the scumbag, biggest piece of shit in the movie gets to live. I'm like, oh, joy. How great I feel right now. We're letting everybody know this guy could be a womanizing piece of shit, drug dealer, fucking who knows what else this guy is doing. This guy could have ran the island. He was such a piece of shit and been proud of it. And they're like, and he lived. I was like, kill. The only one I wanted to see live was the stereotypical fortune teller that I've seen in every horror movie ever made. Because at least she had the knowledge of the universe and what was going on. But instead, we let this piece of garbage win. I don't know. I still can't recover from this movie. I don't know how we all.
But that's one of the things that's incredible is that the guy in this Alonzo something or Alfonso, he plays the good drug dealer.
Oh yes, yeah. The drug dealer with a heart of gold, Hughezy.
Yeah, how this didn't ruin his career because he then went on to be in a Fast and the Furious. He was in Avatar. He's in The Boys. Like who saw this and thought we need to hire him?
23 minutes before Hughezy mentioned Fast and the Furious. I'm going to be honest. I lost a lot of bets because of that.
By the way, we do have another celebrity in the chat. The great Carl Heberger, Heberger. Asks us to hit the like button. Yeah. This is how lost Carl is when Blind Mike isn't on. He's watching us talk about Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood. But
you don't think this is his favorite movie? It's got to be.
Well, I mean, top 5 probably. I mean, this isn't even a top 5 Leprechaun movie, if we can be honest. By the way, it's a long time before they get to the next Leprechaun movie. So this is 2003. Leprechaun Origins is 2014. I think that they realized that it was time. And, this, of course, makes sense. I might screenshot this and send this to Cardiff. And he will, of course, block Carl. But he says Cardiff was boring. I don't know if that's... and Butter Dick Jones says that's actual Carl. Yes, that is actual Carl. Yeah, he shows up as that instead of the WATP account. We appreciate him being here. Carl, you should definitely check out Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood. That is a great way to spend St. Patrick's Day. That's what we're all here talking about. Not Hughezy's big day yesterday, which Hughezy, Cayley was bringing me up to speed. Apparently, you promoted this show a few times while you were on with your new friend, John. Is that accurate?
Yeah, consistently. I could send him the link if you want.
Please do. I want to know what he thinks about this movie. I don't think he would want to be on a stream. With Cayley.
He said he was going to go on with Aussie Guy this morning.
Okay, now I'm hearing us. Echo. Are you guys hearing that? Yeah. So let's see. Metal Horror Madman. Mute yourself for a second. We'll see if it's you. Okay. So now, it's gone. So switch your mic maybe to the one that's in front of you. So I don't know if it's repeating, and make sure you have your headphones selected. And
Slayer stinks, by the way.
You're just trying to make trouble. By the way, Butterdick Jones says big echo. Hey, we can't call them that. Okay. In the course of this movie, we can't call any of them big echo. Definitely keep talking. We're trying to figure out who it was, but we appreciate it. As soon as Carl was here, that's when the tech goes out to the side. All right.
I want to go back while he's working on fixing that. I want to go back to something that Metal Horror Madman was talking about, which was, of course, the fortune teller.
Sure.
I thought that was actually one of the only funny parts of this movie. So the fortune teller at one point, there's two girls. They go in to see the fortune teller to find out about how great their lives are going to be. And the fortune teller says, "Oh, hi, Erica." But the girl's name is really Emily. Yeah. So the other very skeptical girl is like, "Oh, you don't even know her name." And then the fortune teller knows the other girl's name.
Yeah,
but she keeps calling them by names. She's like, "Oh, Linda and Erica," even though their names are Emily and Jane, whatever. I don't remember their names. Who cares? But I thought that was cute. Like, that was a clever little thing that happens in this movie. It was one of the only highlights of the film for me.
I felt very sad earlier in the watching this, because in the scene at the what was the female lead's job? A beauty therapist or something?
She worked at a beauty salon, and she had apparently had enough of helping to beautify the customers. Apparently, there's a threshold, because she was supposed to be giving a massage to the large woman that the leprechaun walks on her back, which... Yeah, go ahead, Cayley.
Her goal in life was to leave her cosmetology job in the salon in order to go to University of Kansas.
Well, and perhaps you didn't hear that doesn't make any sense, because there's no black people up in that motherfucker. That was actually what she was told. Yeah.
Hackmania 4 happening in Kansas. No, but the reason why I say that is because the person playing her friend at work that had one scene was this attractive black lady with blonde hair. Yeah. She was, I don't know if you remember the TV classic show Saved by the Bell, The New Class.
Oh, The New Class, sure, of course.
Where she was the black person in that season.
Oh.
And like, what a fall from grace, from a potential lead in a sitcom to a vastly supporting role in Leprechaun 6.
Yeah, well, so she was the Lisa Turtle for that show, is basically what you're saying. By the way, the Tom Gully show says, "Why get this upset about Leprechaun 2? Oh, this is Leprechaun 6. Leprechaun 2, we've never even talked about. And what the fuck did you expect? Picnic at Hanging Rock. I don't know what I expected, but I think Butterdick Jones says blaxploitation plus, can I say that next word, Hughezy, without you getting offended?
Yeah, go.
Okay, blaxploitation plus mixploitation equals this movie. Again, we're throwing a lot of words around here, but nothing like what they do in this film. Metal Horror Madman, how's your microphone doing?
Do I sound normal now?
You sound like you're using the computer mic, but that might be better because we were getting the echo a minute ago.
I'm always using, and I got to do this in front of Carl. In front of fucking Carl, the king of all this stuff, a guy I've always tried to impress if I ever get to meet him, and now I'm fucking it all up. It's a disaster. This is
never had tech issues
right now.
I know, and DJ Electrofry is laughing at you right now. Metal Horror Madman.
That just breaks my heart. I root for her every time, and look at what I'm doing. I got 5 different buttons here. I got headsets, video calls. I don't know what I'm doing.
So Carl's calling you out, Metal Horror Madman. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I'd like to point out.
Carl, I'm so anal about my stuff on Zoom to make sure everything's perfect because I'm watching every episode of WATP for 4 fucking years.
Well,
this is embarrassing.
I'd like to
Carl's
point.
Gotta show up.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I'd like to
Hughezy.
point out that I've never seen Picnic at Hanging Rock, but I have seen Leprechaun 6 Back to the Hood. So I'm going to start drinking again.
Well,
You
I think
should
that's.
see Picnic at Hanging Rock, though. It's great.
No, I don't want to.
By the
Sounds
way,
shit.
Josh asks, "Am I late to the clan meeting?" Look, there's an element of that you're just like, I mean, at some point, they should have read the script for this and been like, I don't know, should we ease up on it a little bit? And no one thought like, okay, this movie just goes too far. I mean, we have a lot of sequences like what you're seeing for our video audience on the screen right now. I mean, it's basically out of an NWA video, except nobody has AIDS. But I don't feel like this belongs in the Leprechaun world, but I don't know. I mean,
would you have rather them been saying ninja 1,000 times on Venice Beach during spring break?
Well, they would have probably been a bunch of white kids. By the way, shout out to the there's the white guy who is a drug buying customer who loves buying the Chronic. He says the actual N word. He's the one white person that says it, and they did do the old basically the needle drop, the basketball game. The pickup basketball game in the background stops because he says that, but he's a good customer, so it's okay. And then he gets told he has to say ninja. Were you rooting for that guy, Hughezy? Was that the one character in the movie that you could relate to?
That's how I'm cosplaying for Halloween. But in that car full of gentlemen, yes. Did you notice any Marvel tie-ins there?
I don't, but is there somebody that I should recognize in there?
The really good actor on the left on the portable telephone, I think you kids call it. He was Blade in the Blade TV series.
No.
That's everybody's favorite rapper and mine. Sticky Fingers, spelled with a Z.
Yeah, Sticky Fingers, actually his name, that not the version of the poster that I have, of course, but there's a version of the poster. His name is above the title. Obviously, Warwick Davis goes first. I think Butter Dick Jones points out, which is funny every time I say it, of course, it's a Cadillac. Even the car is a stereotype.
Yeah, stolen Cadillac.
I mean, I don't think anybody said that except you, Hughes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's painted with such a broad brush. I can't imagine going to see this movie in, let's just say, certain neighborhoods that might look like where they filmed it. There's well, at least at this point, there was a chain here in Los Angeles that Magic Johnson owned. And if you went to the Magic Johnson theaters, you were encouraged ahead of time. In fact, it was required that you take off your gang colors, and this is true. I'm not trying to be funny. They would say, we're going to watch the movie, so they didn't want Bloods and Crips getting into it. So it was take off your gang colors. Magic Johnson would tell you.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that you were encouraged to wear a condom before going into Magic Johnson Cinema. That AIDS fucking disgrace.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Magic Johnson probably felt like condoms were for F slurs. So I think that he probably didn't want anybody to waste their time with that. I even got Hughezy to be surprised the fact that I said that.
But, you talking about his son?
I don't even know what that means. Let's talk about the kills, Metal Horror Madman, because some of them are inventive. I think the first one we get is the bong through the heart. In terms of creativity and a film that celebrates early 2000s drug culture, I feel like this is at least all right. This is a decent kill. Hughezy's like strangling something there off camera, so I'm going to go ahead and. But how did you feel about some of the kills in this?
I loved all the kills. That's when I started getting going. That's when I felt like I really did. That last act of the movie, as bad as the whole movie was, those were making me. The cop when he rips the leg off. It's even though the cop's hopping around, fucking again, so stupid. But when he rips the leg off that guy, the slitting the throats is always a classic. It's always a beautiful thing to see. The billy clubs through people. I thought the kills were awesome, and I wish this would have just. How great would this movie would have been if this was like the first 5 minutes, and it was just like 50 minutes straight of just annihilation, where this guy's just killing everybody nonstop. I liked also it didn't matter. He just wanted to kill everybody. Like, give me my gold back, but then he kills like the first person before he gets the fucking gold. Makes no sense. But I respected that. It made sense to me in a horror world.
Even when people are willing to give him back his gold, he still kills them, because he even says it's about vengeance. It's almost like doing a DMCA strike, not because of somebody actually violating your copyright, but it's out of vengeance. I'm sure you don't know what I'm talking about, Cayley.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
By the way, I'm sorry, comment of the show so far, and I want Hughezy to be here for it, from Butterdick Jones. Bong hit transplant, anyone? I wanted to make sure you got to see that. And I'm sorry. This is somebody I haven't seen in a chat before, but Geisha Mouth Opie, and their avatar is indeed Geisha Mouth Greg Hughes, classic Bong death, one of my favorites. Hughezy, we were going through the deaths in here, and I think that at least that's probably how Stephen Aromolu was able to, get this movie going. Was like, yeah, but look at all the ways that we're going to kill people, and he's going to walk on some fat broad's back. Any of them stand out for you, Mr. Hughes?
Well, unfortunately for me, and maybe it's why I didn't enjoy this one. I seen the YouTube censored version.
Oh, that's right.
So I didn't get to hear any of the swearing or the hello word, should we say?
So,
and
did you see no one get killed in your version?
Nothing.
Hughezy, you found a way for this movie to be worse than the actual version, because we were talking about the only redeeming quality was the kills. Although I do feel like, Hughezy, you did find the racism to be a little charming. I feel like that's what you messaged me yesterday.
Yeah, it was definitely. It's like, if this is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
If you use that word to get a discount on your drink orders in St. Patrick's Day, it's great.
Well, you did try to use it as a promo code for Hackamania, and unfortunately, it didn't save you any money. I don't believe that was the case. Cayley, as we talk about the kills, because you spent $3.99 to watch the unedited version, whereas Hughezy has enough money for half a pint left. So, who's the real winner here? But what did you think about some of the kills? Bong hit transplant, which I appreciate that, Butterdick Jones. That notwithstanding, what were some of the other ones that stood out for you?
Yeah, I really liked the kills in this. However, I did have maybe a little bit more issue with them than Metal Horror Madman did. I felt like a lot of them were off screen, so we got to see the residuals of the kill. So, for example, we get to see at one point somebody's, jawbone. We get to see somebody's heart, but we're not actually seeing the jaw getting ripped off, the heart getting ripped out. That being said, pulling the leg off a cop is hilarious anytime that it happens, and it is very well executed in this. It's a daytime scene, so it's even more fun. A lot of the time we get like the nighttime scenes for big effects points like that, so that we can kind of hide all the things that don't look great. It looks great. I love it. I was excited about that. And of course, the bong through the heart, despite the fact that it does not make any sense.
No
the bong
sense,
would
yeah.
absolutely break. It was hilarious. And that's what you want in a movie like this. If everybody's going to be smoking weed, I expect to see something crazy happening with a bong. And that definitely happened. There were some goofy moments. Oh, another thing that I really loved, though, was that the leprechaun has the green blood.
Of course.
And it felt very like Troll 2. And I know that this movie almost felt like a worse version of Troll 2, if that's possible. I felt like I was in Nilbog all over again.
I mean, I would say that by way of comparison, Troll 2 is, if not Citizen
A
Kane,
masterpiece.
if it is not Citizen Kane compared to this, it is at least a Magnificent Ambersons compared to it. Troll 2, you'll get, just like we don't want any Slayer slander, we don't want any Troll 2 slander during the course of this show. Speaking of his green blood, I have a question from my notes that was specifically for Hughezy. If the leprechaun's blood is green, do you assume all of his bodily secretions are green, Hughezy?
Definitely a hint of green to it. Like, I assume the greenish brown is a recurring theme for him. And is everyone still here?
Yep. I just wanted to give you the spotlight. Yes.
Yeah, but I also don't think he has a dick because he's an ugly dwarf. So I think that's basically
Didn't
what
realize
he
you were going to throw
deserves.
that word around.
This is the most sexualized that we've seen the Leprechaun, actually. I assumed that Quentin Tarantino directed this one because we get to see his feet.
We see a lot of his feet. Yeah. I don't think we had actually seen that before. And I'm sure Warwick Davis loved the idea of like, oh, we've got more prosthetics to put on me for this movie. Geisha Mouth Opie has this question that I'll spin towards you, Metal Horror Madman. I feel spiritually that Leprechaun Back to the Hood walked so Scary Movie could run. I mean, Scary Movie knows it's funny and it's trying to be funny. I think that this is, this is supposed to be a straight up horror movie with some humor sprinkled in. I wouldn't compare the two. Would you, Metal Horror Madman?
No, that was the biggest loss of this movie. If this was full comedy, it could have been unbelievable. Like when he's on the phone, he does have a dick. He talks about his big fucking cock on the phone. He's hitting on that girl and he's talking about how he looks. That made me laugh. That was the one time this is what this movie should be about. And then at the end, right, the movie's over, he comes back and then you watch his cock come out of the grave. I would have given it 4 stars after that point. But they go back to like, it's a real movie. There's no cocks. There's no green jizz. It's all about these guys getting it. And then the shit wins. The moral of the story is be a piece of shit. Because in the end, which I guess is the way the world works. Maybe that's what we're missing here. This thing is showing us how the world works. There are no consequences. There's no yin and yang. There's just pieces of shit and leprechauns with a big fat fucking cock. That's
he does try to convince people that there's a woman on the phone who likes what she hears until he mentions that he's, I think, 3'5".
Yeah.
Cayley, if it's accurate, do you think that the leprechaun could probably, considering what he looks like, the fact that he's 3'5", do you think it's at all possible that if he does have an enormous hog, as we're talking about, which is what I think is the important part of this movie, do you think he could do okay for himself?
I think as long as he didn't talk, he might be able to bag a hottie.
That's what Hughezy usually says about women. As soon as they start talking, the erection kind of just goes like that. So Jerry Shepardini is making the point that I feel bad for Warwick Davis. Do you have any sympathy for Warwick Davis, one of the finest little people in cinematic history, Hughezy?
No, because the year after this, he had a pretty big role in Ray. Charles?
The Ray Charles movie. I'm trying to think of it. I'm like, wait, is this a joke or is he actually in it?
Yeah, he played like his original agent or manager or something.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, he was like stealing money from him, right?
It was just a small role, though.
Well, you know what they say. And Geisha Mouth Opie is on fire, saying the other secretions are orange and white. So that would actually make sense.
Nice.
Yeah, and yeah, giant leprechaun hog with $2. Somebody should actually be giant leprechaun hog in the chat, but please do not make your avatar a giant leprechaun hog. I think that's you want to talk about embarrassing ourselves. So the jaw that you mentioned earlier that happens off screen, I think that when she melts down me gold to make it a gold tooth, one, I was very uncomfortable that was the decision that they had this character make. I think there was really only one way it could end, but I didn't think he was going to rip out her whole jaw. But he's not known for having soft hands, the leprechaun. How much better would this last half hour? We're not even going to talk about the first hour in terms of quality, Metal Horror Madman. How much better would the movie have been had we gotten to see, the actual like jaw getting ripped out, maybe blood spurting everywhere? That's what you're talking about, right?
It would have been it's like the band Exhumed, where they're all singing about this vile, sick shit, and then you meet them and they're all fucking wacky people into toys and everything. That's what, what other thing they lost here is he comes out of the cop car. I'm like, this is a fucking comedy. I wanted to see him in like a cop uniform with his little fucking hat weeble wobbling over there. And instead of pulling out the billy club, he pulls out his cock. We would have been clapping, we would have been laughing, we would have been having a great time. But no, they take everything so seriously. They just got to make this like they're trying to make a movie when it's just for stoners and dirtbag scumbags that just want to sit and have a good time and not think about life. And that's what was bothering. Everything should have been over the top comical. I think I think it could have been one of those real cult classics if they went that way. But they were just hell-bent on, like, it's a real story. There's the love fucking story with the guy banging 7 different chicks. Also, where were they selling his fucking gold? You walk into a pawn shop with gold doubloons, and the guy's going to put his name on that thing when they do a fucking audit of the place? Here I am. If I walk in with a gold doubloon, they're going to look, this piece of shit's got a gold doubloon. We're calling the cops. These motherfuckers are selling gold doubloons all over town. I don't understand it.
I thought,
go ahead, Hughezy. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I thought it would have been maybe better, even potentially better. Not that you can improve on perfection, but
Fair.
when they discovered that the what do you call it, the treasure box, re-uploads all the coins. So if they had actually gone to Mexico and it was like 3 years later and they're living a high life, and the finale could have taken place in a big house, or it would have been called a Hughezy. And I thought that that could have been something different, but instead, no, it was another super low budget action film done with great actors such as the woman. I think that's what her acting name is.
Yeah, I believe that when she tried to get her next role, it went as a woman. Cayley, I have a 2-part question for you. 1, did you think there was going to be so much cock talk on this episode? And 2, are you surprised at the person who's the one bringing up all the cocks?
I always hope for cock talk. That's a hard thing to say.
Clip it.
It's been great.
Clip that for Hughezy.
I'm having a really wonderful morning. Great. Better than a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I got a question for everyone. What did you think of when Slayer did the song with Sum 41 for the Spider-Man soundtrack? Both equally as good bands, right?
Is that true, Metal Horror Madman?
I thought Slayer, the premier name in heavy fucking metal. If people don't like Slayer, they're a little weak. That's what I'm saying. Not you. I love you no matter what you do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you want to get a little testosterone when you wake up, and you want that cock full salute. You want those metal bombs wrapped around it. You don't want to listen to no fucking. What are we gonna play? Winger? Should we play some Enough, some fucking Enough? Some Backstreet Boys tonight? No, we gotta listen to some real fucking music, some Slayer. Get the fuck. I could feel the just even insulting Slayer. The juices are flowing to my balls again. Like, the name of them lets you know we're going to that next level. So thank you for bringing them up so much. I really do.
By the way,
waking up this morning.
Yeah, when we were out in Vegas, Backstreet Boys are playing at the Sphere, and I'm game.
You know what? I'm sure you are, but the walk-up nosebleed last-minute tickets are about $700. So, you could buy Hackamania tickets for a few friends instead of going to that. By the way, Butterdick Jones has suggested a new show, Cock Talk Live, with Christian and Cayley. I'm probably not going to be afraid to be associated with that. And this is a visual joke from my buddy Dominicus Saxon. There's a lot of caulk talk at Home Depot. CAULK. I'm glad to see Dominicus Saxon. He doesn't usually have time to show up in my streams anymore. People with jobs who don't have time to show up in the internet. I don't know. I don't have much time for them, is really what I'm saying. So you were talking about how the rainbow shows up to help the leprechaun find his gold. And I was reminded of the first thing we see in the whole movie. Let's just say there's an urban gentleman who is at the construction site, which is only referenced in this movie when it's convenient to the plot. It's, I guess there's some like daycare center that they're working on that takes a year. I don't know. I guess I'm really splitting hairs here. But this urban gentleman who sees the rainbow, he swings a shovel at it to try and hit it. And I think that really sets the tone for the entire movie, is really what it was going to be. Some urban actors swinging shovels at magic, I think is fairly accurate. Am I going out too far out on a limb here, Metal Horror Madman?
No, and what was lost in that thing is the leprechaun should have picked up a shovel, and they had like a fucking sword, like a lightsaber fight. Because if we can't have a cockfight, everyone's so sensitive about cocks all of a sudden, then they have like a sword to sword with their shovels. I thought that was going to happen because I'm like, this is going to be a comedy fucking classic. But no, because they're urban, they're fighting rainbow. Well, yeah, I mean, rainbows could be a problem there. So they're pulling out shovels, trying to get rid of all rainbows everywhere. And I'm going, how many fucking stereotypes are we? I feel like that writer thought of that. I feel like he was. We got to find that guy. I got to find that guy. I'm going to interview that guy, and I'm going to end the podcast within 5 fucking minutes because I'm going to insult him so much. Because I got no integrity or class, so I don't care.
I mean, I would start off talking about Halloween with him because I love the title. What were you going to say, Mr. Hughes?
Yeah, when I seen that actor turn up with the shovel, I immediately just thought, digger.
You know, sometimes I think that there's a language barrier, and Hughezy says something that I don't think I understand. Maybe the rest of you understand something. I have a quick note that in the film, there's a character who says, "What do I look like? A fucking Kmart?" And if we could show clips of the movie, I would say yes. R.I.P. Kmart, by the way. But there is... so Jamie is the one character who I think we like, and I did, to Metal Horror Madman's point, I figured he was the guy who was going to survive because at least he's funny, he's dumb, he's silly. All right, this is the guy who's going to survive, but nope. He gets killed with a good half hour left in the movie, and I don't even think that was a particularly great death. You know, we have a character named Cedric who gets his throat slashed, and so Jamie just he didn't last the way that I thought he would, and I felt like there should have been something funnier for a funny character. What do you say, Cayley?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And again, that's kind of where I feel like things failed within the film, is that we could have had all of this fun and excitement, and we want to see the characters that we don't like having the really crazy deaths. Also, Jamie and Rory are the two main drug dealers' names, which doesn't feel right. And then
doesn't it look like a cast full of Jamies and Rorys?
Erica and what's the other one? Lisa, I want to say, are the two main girls.
I think you're right.
Not correct. I don't like the idea that we got kind of skimped on the kills. And I do agree that the kills became fun later on in the movie, but they could have been so much more fun. And perhaps the reason that they felt a little bit fun to us is because the beginning of the movie was so stupid. So we were just like, yeah, this is finally something's happening. But really it could have been 1,000 times better.
Yeah, no, I think that that's really the part that is. Go ahead, sorry.
Even the massage scene, Metal Horror Madman was talking about the massage scene a little bit ago. That's a scene that had a lot of buildup. We had a lot of buildup of this big, huge lady being a bitch on the massage table, and we could have had so much excitement in that death. And I felt like it really left me it left too much to the imagination.
Yeah,
which I never thought I would say about that lady.
Unironically, there was no happy ending. Hit the like button. We barely said hit the like button in this episode, Hughezy. I don't think that people are hitting the like button. Do you?
No, but I'll tell you that I was, of course, I love bragging about my home cinema. I actually stopped it halfway because I thought this isn't worthy of it.
Oh,
and I came in and watched the other half on the TV because I thought if this projector breaks or a fire happens because I was watching Leprechaun 6, I'm never watching any film ever again in my life. And I don't want to even joke about that because Riddick 4 is coming out.
I didn't even realize that was going to be out so soon. I think that moving it over to an Apple Watch probably would have been the most appropriate way to do that. So as we're talking about some of the comedy around the massage therapy scene, she's asking for more oil, and I think that might be Lisa at that point. It kind of doesn't matter. She says that they don't make the bottles in beach whale size. So we're all having fun, I thought. There's jokes in here. Prior to that was when Jamie thought he was going to have to go to jail. There's two great jokes here where he's telling the officers back when he had two legs, "Ganja, what ganja? My mom is Italian and she likes a lot of oregano for lasagna." Definitely hit the like button for that one. And Jamie says, "I can't be no prison bitch. I can't toss nobody's salad." And that's where, for the first time in the movie, he gets kissed by the girl that he likes. The idea that he might be tossing a salad somewhere in the future. Hughezy, who would you least like to have toss your salad?
In this chat?
Yeah, I mean, probably not Butter Dick Jones, right? He's probably a generous lover.
It depends if Butter Dick Jones like Slayer or not.
By the way, did they really do a song with Sum 41? It sounds like this Spider-Man soundtrack. Is that the one that Aerosmith also did a terrible song for?
Well, that guy, what's his name? Is it Kerry Jones?
So
the guitar player?
Kerry Jones. How we even have
King.
a conversation at this point? If you're gonna insult the band, you gotta give him the respect of knowing the name. Kerry fucking King, the icon. But yes, it's Kerry King.
Yeah. Well, he did a song with them for either one or two. But Kerry Jones would have a sweater over his vest and over his shoulders, and he's in a band called Gayer. But with so for Spider-Man 2, and it was horrific. And so is the soundtrack. Just a quick tie into the Aerosmith talk. They were hired to write a song for Spider-Man 1, and they did a new metal version of the classic Spider-Man. Yeah. It is so unbelievably bad, and it's real, and it's an Aerosmith new metal cover of the 60s song. It is, I can't believe it, but at least we're on topic.
Do you think Aerosmith should have done more new metal, that's actually the direction they should have gone? Would that have helped us avoid travesties like 9 Lives, Just Push Play, Music from Another Dimension? Do you think that they should have tried to go full new metal, Hughezy?
I think it should have been renamed Just Push Slay, and the ER would be me in the hospital after I cut my ears off.
I think Hughezy might be poking the madman, which is never advisable.
Hughezy would never do something like that.
That's true. That's
I went a man of integrity and respect. He didn't have a shirt on.
I actually saw Slayer supporting Tool in Dublin, and it stank.
Wait, they went on before.
You went and saw Tool. Tool's the lamest fucking band, and the drummer sings in the back of the fucking stage. He's afraid to show his fucking face. That's where you got confused here.
I didn't like Tool either. Overrated hacks.
That's it. We can end it now.
So you were just there for the overpriced alcohol. Why were you at this show if you don't like either band, Hughezy?
Ozzy Osbourne was supposed to be playing.
But yeah, well, we know gone too soon. Our RIP. So anyway, there's so many little individual moments that there are things that I liked when the gold doubloons get thrown, I believe, towards the cement where we think that's going to be the big ending. He does refer to his gold coins as his babies. And then I think we realize, what is the legacy of the Leprechaun? He never settled down, found a good woman. I mean, he came close with the woman he walked on her back and then the phone sex lady. But his gold is really all he has, Cayley. So I think that, we feel bad for the Leprechaun that everybody keeps trying to steal it and buy gold teeth and cars with the extra shocks and the bounce on it, or is he a terrible character? Is really what I'm asking.
I mean, he's a terrible character, but I still love him. I don't know that I feel bad for him. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
But I get it. He needs his babies back. He needs his babies back.
Yeah. And
he's basically a mythical loan shark. That's what I want to.
Carlos does a nice shirt, Lucy. So we'll make sure that everybody can see that is a fun shirt. And
this is from the wonderful Hunter Duke.
Oh, the great Hunter Duke. Mm-hmm. And somebody is at least on your side, Metal Horror Madman. Justin, whose avatar is a bit.
That's the way you say it.
That is the way you say it. But
fucking love him. Don't be a closet Slayer fan. You could come out. It's fine. And I was just thinking about that fucking woman on the table. That woman laying on the table. I really thought it was so stereotypical. Instead of oil, I'm like, she's going to pull out a bottle of fucking Aunt Jemima and I'm going to shut this fucking movie off and start rubbing it all over. And then she's going to chug it. I saw that coming. I'm like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And they didn't.
That would have been so good. God damn it.
I did not expect Aunt Jemima to come up during this, but honestly, I should have. That's really on me. Hughezy, what has it been about this stream, which is also going to your channel, that there's not one super chat? I know that people like to not only hit the like button, they like to give Hughezy money. But why do you think that have we, as your friend Aaron would say, did we just do a dog shit show? Is that the problem? Why people aren't giving us any money?
Yes.
Okay, because we are $270 away from the goal.
Yeah.
But Flinster says that was a disaster on John's show. You sold out, buddy. And I don't think anyone's saying that except Flinster. I think people are proud to know you. And how long were you on with John last night?
I think nearly 2 hours.
That's a very long time. That's half an Ava show. But you know, and I guess people can't really watch it very easily because he does that smart thing where he takes the stream down almost instantly. Did he dox anyone while you were on? Did he try to give out, especially anybody on screen right now, did he try to give out anyone's home address, or was he on better behavior than that?
No, but we did get him to listen to and react for the first time to As Is's Oh Dara song. And if you don't know who As Is was, Anthony Cumia was in a band in the 80s with his brother called As Is.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite a catchy GTA level type song. So, and he actually complimented it to the point that Stuttering John, as of right now, is coming on my St. Patrick's Day stream.
So that's actually what I wanted to make sure we got around to, because I don't know. I felt like this started from an X interaction. And, you know, I'm going to take, you know, all the credit because I fanned the flame and said that there's no way that he could possibly outdrink you on St. Patrick's Day. That I said that he's not man enough to outdrink Hughezy. And then the next thing I know, you send me a screenshot of you on with him at a time where I wish I could have watched, but I couldn't. So I would like you to thank me for this happening.
Yes. Thanks, Muslim, Christian.
Somebody in the chat mentioned that I guess you did refer to me as a Muslim. So I don't know. So one of the Clippers has to have this whole show because I can't watch it anywhere.
Wait, you know, it won't be clipped because we actually got him. He was talking about the fact that he wants to end this feud with Carl and Shirley and potentially even mend fences with them. So because he said something nice, that's not going to get clipped. But if he said, "Oh, Carl's trainers stink," that's 17 clips.
I did see that clip, actually. That's one of the clips I saw was you trying to convince him of that. Yeah. And that doesn't at all sound like somebody who's about to lose a lawsuit, but he's your best friend. I don't want to talk badly about him. The idea that he is going to be on Hughezy Entertainment on St. Patrick's Day, which our audio audience is hearing this on St. Patrick's Day. And you know, we're recording this on Sunday morning when here in Hollywood, everyone's gathering to celebrate the greatest achievements in film over the last year. And we're talking about a movie that, Cayley, I think you can imagine one Best Picture nominee that you would rather have watched Leprechaun 6 Back to the Hood than. Any thoughts on any movies that you enjoyed this more than?
I don't know how you could possibly be conflating this with Sinners. I hate them both equally.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Sinners, I would actually say it's even worse than this because Sinners is. I think it was the BAFTAs that won Best Original Screenplay.
Yes.
And it's like, but there's nothing in it that's unique in any way. Like I like that musical sequence in Sinners, but apart from I think Sinners, it's clearly going to win the Oscars. Is that tonight?
It's tonight as we're recording this. Our audio audience is hearing this on St. Patrick's Day, so they either know you're brilliant or they're laughing at you because one battle after another one.
Yeah, no, so I'm pretty sure Sinners will win, and I think it's fucking ridiculous.
Metal Horror Madman, have you seen Sinners? There's vampires in it.
I haven't seen it, but I can safely say this was the worst movie I ever watched in my life. Like, I will never watch. If I could undelete this movie, I was trying to compare this thing to everything, and there's nothing redeeming about this movie. It's very rare to find something like, even the guy we liked to me was like a discount fucking Method Man. I'm like, let's pretend you're Method, act wacky. This is like How High, you know, part 3. And the ending sucked. They shoot him like 18 times and he's like throwing the bullets away and he's fine. And that last bullet and an unlimited gun. And then the movie just ends.
Yeah.
It just ends. Like, it would have been great to see them in Mexico and then some kind of thing at the end. Wu-Tang brings the ruckus. We know that.
Yeah,
we can all
so
agree on that much, at least. I think.
finally, we can all come together after that.
And
This is,
Puntine brings the breakfast. Am I right, guys? Hit the like button.
thank you. I would say that this is the worst movie I'd ever seen, but earlier this week, I did see The Bride in theaters, and I think that you want to talk about hating a movie equally. I might hate that on the same level as this. And after I saw The Bride, I did say we all owe Joker 2 an apology because they're all terrible movies. And but Cayley, I know later today you're actually seeing a great movie, a fine piece of cinema from yesterday in the theater.
I am. I'm going to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze.
So that's the one with
Very
Vanilla
excited.
Ice. So that's the
I'm
good one.
so excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
That one is good.
Yes, I agree.
It took you a
I
long
agree.
time to get there.
My first date ever was going to see that movie in theaters, so I'm going to be very nostalgic.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the story of the 45-year-old drifter who took you to that movie. As a young
Actually,
girl.
the reason that I am who I am today.
Is that experience there. Well, you can also find plenty more movie talk over on your channel, and tell everybody everything about where they can find you, Cayley.
Yeah, you can find me on Once Over with Cayley, Cayley, on YouTube, on Patreon. I do movie talk. I do Dabbleverse talk sometimes. Sometimes I talk about other stuff. You never know. The best way to figure out what I'm talking about this week is to hop on over to YouTube, hit the notification button, subscribe, all those things, because I don't have a regular schedule anymore because life is crazy. Yay.
The one thing you forgot to say is hit the like button. I think if everybody hit the like button,
like
subscribe. And I also know that you're a part of the nationally syndicated movie talk show that's just sweeping the nation. Is it worth watching? And you can follow me for details. I'm at Christian DMZ. I will send you in the direction. So interestingly, this is something that we talked about early. Be nice 666. All right. This sounds like your kind of guy, Metal Horror Madman. Send Nasty Neil the link. Nasty Neil was supposed to be on today, but he had a root canal and his jaw hurt so much that he couldn't talk. Cayley, do you have any theories as to why his jaw might have really hurt so much?
Dick sucking.
Okay. So, and if you're going to say that, I think that the thing we need to do is, of course, ask Hughezy, where can people find more of you?
At the Hughezy on Twitter and Instagram, and the YouTube stream channel is called Hughezy Entertainment, and the podcast, which is not just the audio version, there's like bonus parts to it, is called It's Hughezy Hello.
I don't think I've really... Go ahead.
And it's a quick plug / brag. I work for the podcast Keaton 100, and we quite literally just passed 70,000 subscribers today. So 70,000 likes, please.
So you're more popular than everyone in the Dabbleverse, or the show that you work for is 70,000. That's impressive. Hey, Metal Horror Madman, how many followers do you have on TikTok?
127,000 strong, a legion of fucking Slayer fans. And we like to have fun and we like to get rowdy. And Vanilla Ice, I met Vanilla Ice 10 years ago at the Mohegan Sun Buffet. He was playing a 90s show there. And that must be, instead of giving him like restaurants, he got the buffet. And he was in his whole thing with his hat down. And I went up to him and he had a dessert in each hand. And I'm like, are you Rob Van Winkle, the Vanilla Ice? And he was like, yup. And I was like, what a cool motherfucker. As much as all the shit he took, he owned it. And then him and his handler ran out of there like it was fucking Tony Bennett playing or something. There's going to be a million people following him. I'm like, calm down, buddy. I don't think I exposed the big secret and you're going to get a fucking 1,000 people around you. It's fine. But 127,000 on TikTok, 50-something thousand on Instagram, building up YouTube over the last year, interviewing bands, Metal Horror Madness, my podcast. I promote positivity. I promote metal, horror. I provoke shitheads like Sutter and John. That fucking slob with his big mouth talks of people. I don't play those shitting games. He's lucky he's not in my world. And I love all of you so much, Cayley, Christian. I love you guys. For you to roast me, dude, and you're in the Abbott shirt, I am so happy today. I love all of you so much. You provide so much fun entertainment. and you take a worthless piece of garbage and the Shamrock Shake. Everybody's representing. You guys take the worst person on earth and just make it fun. And I think all of you do a great job in trying to make it fun. But when you deal with an absolute piece of shit, they don't know how to have fun with it and go back and forth and have a good time. I wish nothing but the worst on that fucking slob. He's getting everything he deserves and more. His fucking stand-up set with the fucking Kumias. What a fucking... He's lucky Kumia didn't knock him out. He had to take his anger out on someone at that show, I guess. The guy outside, but...
Hughezy, what do you think about the way Metal Horror Madman is talking about Shmuel Buckman right now? I think that's really rude when he's just bad-mouthing the great Shmuel Buckman, who I forgot to get that St. Patrick's Day photo that you use of Shmuel with the leprechaun hat. That's probably on me.
Well, I can also say that there is nothing's confirmed at all, but there is a potential that Anthony Cumia may make a cameo on the St. Patrick's Day episode with Stuttering John. If I can get it okay in advance, I may also send the link to Shuley as well. Maybe Carl, if SJ okays it, so that we don't.
I can't imagine he would want to be on screen with all those people. That's that is he'd be bringing a wooden knife to a gunfight. I think is, but from a content perspective, I hope all of that happens. Cayley, how likely do you think it is that we would see John on screen with Hughezy, Cumia, Shuley, and our buddy Carl?
I think if anybody can make that happen, it is Hughezy.
That's true. You did bring the Aussie guy and Steel Toe together, and I don't think anybody ever thought that would happen. Any thoughts on the Aussie guy, Hughezy?
Wanker.
Okay. And by the way, Squid Row, which is a fantastic name, says just here to simp for Lucy. Isn't that why we're all here? We're all here to simp for Lucy. Please, as Hughezy always says, hit the like button, subscribe to the Bladtcast, Bladtcast, on YouTube. And also, it is an audio podcast. And we have so much going on these next couple weeks, including our Oscars reaction show, our Major League Baseball preview, and of course, the most important show we do all year is this one that just ended, our Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood. Cayley, on the show we ask, is it worth watching? I would say this is absolutely worth watching. Everyone should have to sit through a Leprechaun, especially for $3.99, right?
Yes. I've never been upset about spending $3.99 more than getting this movie, but I did enjoy watching it, and I would say that if you can find it, an uncensored version, don't watch an uncensored version. If you can find, don't watch a censored version. I know how words work. I would recommend watching this once. Once is all you need. We didn't even get to talk about the kitchen sequence, which is like a slapstick insanity malarkey sequence. It's fine watching it once and feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know what? There was so much other stuff I forgot about that kitchen sequence where you're like, did they go into one of those, homes that they display for moving into a new development where all the houses are the same? There's a lot to this movie, and maybe next year we'll just have to dive back in and talk about it. Oddly enough, the one movie we haven't talked about is Leprechaun 2, so that's probably what we should talk about next year. I hope Jennifer Aniston was back in this one. Don't spoil anything. But anyway, thanks again to Cayley, Metal Horror Madman, Hughezy, and R.I.P. Nasty Neil. Sorry that there was Nasty Neil will be back. And our buddy Nick Greystone also unavailable for this episode, but there's plenty of horror dates on the course of the calendar that we can circle, and you'll see those coming up soon on the Bladtcast.
Slayer stinks.